All right, guys, we got Jay here. He got second place today in light class. And this is Southern ELR and reloading. So how was it today?
It was interesting. Started off with a really humid, foggy conditions. Sort of on the cool side, but it warmed up throughout the day. Sun came out, fog went away. The wind didn't go away.
Yeah.
So we were dealing with the wind. It was a pretty strong left to right. So we had to deal with that all day, but overall, it was manageable.
Yeah.
It was fairly consistent throughout the day. So in that reason, it was fairly manageable.
Mm-hmm.
So it was good.
What rifle do you shoot?
I'm shooting it's a 33XC. It's
Okay.
a Stiller action and a McCree chassis.
Okay.
So I've been shooting that probably about 3 years now.
Okay.
So it's
What bullet?
I'll shoot either the A-tip. Today I was shooting an A-tip, the 300 grain.
Okay.
It also runs the tub D-tax really well.
Yeah.
So it's more availability. Which whenever I can get, I shoot. But ballistically, they're almost identical, and performance-wise, I get the same results out of both bullets. And I like the lead core. To get a nice signature on the targets.
Yeah.
When you see the hits.
I heard those things could start fires.
I've heard that, but I really haven't seen it.
Hopefully we don't.
The A-tip, I've seen those on particularly close shots, maybe 1,000 yards or so. You'll see them flash on impact. But it's not a sustained fire though. But yeah, they'll put on a show sometimes. But yeah, I've been doing this since 2018, I guess, is my first ELR match. So fairly active in it.
Yeah. How many matches do you think you go to a year?
Probably about one every 2 weeks. So
okay.
Probably about 18, 20 matches a year.
Okay.
So I like to just meet people. It's the social side of it, actually. It's the most rewarding.
Oh, yeah.
The shooting is fun. Sometimes you'll do well, other times not. I really don't worry so much about placement in a match. It's more personal goals.
Right.
And I look at it as if you're only happy if you win, then only one guy can be going home happy. You've got to have more reasonable goals than that. So I look at it as personal.
Right.
And today was a decent shooting day. We're getting ready for going over to France in a couple weeks to shoot King of 1 Mile and King of 2 Mile over there.
Have you been there before?
I've been 3 times. This is my 4th time to France for their match.
Hold on 1 second. I forgot to give you your mic. Before we get any further, let's make sure. How many times have you been to France?
I've been, this will be my 4th time. So I went to 19 for the first time. And then there was a year off, I believe, or 2 years. And then I went in 23 and 24.
Okay.
So I've become pretty good friends with the French team.
Okay.
It's where 2 years ago they came over here for our King of 2 Mile. And 2 of the shooters, being active duty military, didn't want to travel with weapons. So they asked me to borrow a gun when they came over. So I set up one of my backup rifles, my heavy, for them to shoot. And they really enjoyed it. And one of them was in first place at the end of the first day with my rifle.
Oh, really?
So that was actually rewarding to have set up and provided that equipment for them. And they were ecstatic. And they ended up finishing 4th at King. So that was good.
What about the ammunition? I heard you could only take so much.
There's an 11-pound restriction for air travel. There are ways you can work around it, but in general, it's 11 pounds. But that's a consideration for when you think about which caliber you're going to shoot.
Right.
So going over and trying to shoot a 50 or a 460 sight or something like that, you're going to run into issues. But I'll be going over with a 33 and a 375 Chi-Tac.
Okay.
And with those 2 calibers, I can take about 45 rounds of each. So that's more than enough for a match and some little bit of zero time.
So did you try to go to Italy, or did you?
I went to Sicily last year. The year before that, Rod Formosa, he's the match director over there. I met him in France, so we've become friends. He asked me to do the English language commentary for his match the year before that. So I was doing it from my home in Dallas. So I was watching the camera feed of the targets and the shooters, and then just providing commentary, running commentary with it.
Okay.
And that went really well. He was excited about that. But my take was, if I'm going to do this and comment on people, and sometimes not necessarily in a positive sense, I better put myself out there as well to be open for criticism. So this past year, I made sure to go over for that match, and it was it's probably the fastest growing match that I'm aware of in the world. It went from 2 years ago, 26 shooters. This past year was 75 shooters. And this coming year, they've got over 200 shooters registered.
Oh, wow.
With 30 countries represented, over 30. So it's probably the most global match that I'm aware of, any ELR match. And it's on Sicily.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful terrain and the scenery there. It's a really nice place to go. It's I go with my wife. She loves to travel, but it's that, and also the match in France is really nice. It's flying into Nice, so you're there on the coast, on the Mediterranean coast. So the climate there is just beautiful. Then you go up into the mountains to go to the course or go to shoot. It's quite a different climate even at that. But the people are fantastic, very accommodating in both France and Sicily. It's just really great destinations.
Good deal.
So again, sometimes I shoot well, sometimes I don't.
Right.
I try not to embarrass myself more than anything else. I tend to not shoot well on international matches for some reason. I haven't quite figured out why yet, but I hope that'll change this year.
Are you able to test enough?
It's nothing that's really different. I just, I make stupid mistakes. For instance, last year in France, shot king of the 1 mile, and they give distances in meters. Well, I converted all of my distances from meters to yards, except the cold bore. For some reason, I didn't change the cold bore. So now I shoot the cold bore target, and I'm hitting low because I didn't convert meters to yards. Well, I'm thinking, okay, now I'm going to target 1. I've got to add that to get on target now. So I go to target 1, which had been converted, and I'm adding data to it, an offset based on my first miss. Well, now this one, I'm hitting high now because I'm adding when I didn't need to. It was just a stupid mistake, but it's something that can take you out of a match.
It's a big learning curve there.
There's just, you start to learn different, once you make a mistake, you probably won't make it again.
Right.
So you just learn these different pitfalls as you go along. But again, the people are extremely friendly, very accommodating, and they're really willing to learn or anxious to learn about how we do things here because we've got so many matches to shoot. And they only have very limited number of places and times that they can shoot ELR. So for them, we have paradise here when it comes to shooting.
Oh, yeah.
So they want to learn from us. So they always want to talk. So when I go to France or Sicily, it's nonstop communication with people and just talking and just learning what they know. And they're picking our brains of what we do, how we do things here. So it's very very enjoyable time.
Maybe that's what I need to start doing is start to reach out to them and maybe invite them over here so they can get more time on the range with us.
I think you could reach out to the French guys. I know they're sending a contingent for King of 2 Miles this year.
Okay.
So you might want to reach out to them and connect with them out in Raton.
Okay.
But like I said, they're very accommodating.
Yeah.
Good group of guys. Other than that, just shooting the different courses, learning the different challenges associated with each course. That's pretty much how we learn.
Yeah.
You have people, if you only shoot one range, you learn that range really well. Mm-hmm. But each course has its own challenges in the target positioning or the terrain or the different winds that you're accounting for and all these kinds of things you've got to learn for each match. And that makes you a better shooter as you encounter all these different variables. And the international side, you learn different things there as well as far as their way of running a match, or just, again, it's a different range, so you have to learn the intricacies of that range. So it's interesting. 2 years ago, I went over to France, and I didn't have a spotter. I was just over there on my own. So I paired up with a French shooter at the time. He was someone I had met before, but we paired up, and we spent about 5 minutes talking about how do we spot, how do we communicate during the string. And turns out our basic methods were different. His guys would only call a correction to center. Whatever. It was it was just a different way of communicating. So we sort of worked it out going into it, and then he ended up doing extremely well. I made finals, but he made the finals and then had a strong run in the finals. He ended up finishing second place.
Okay.
So he connected with a 2-mile plate, which, as you're seeing, people connect there. But the challenge for King of 2 Miles is, since it's a hit to advance,
Right.
there aren't all that many people even have the opportunity to shoot that plate, let alone hit it.
Right.
So at the time, I think he was only the 11th person
Oh, really?
globally to hit the 2-mile plate in a King of 2 Mile competition.
Okay.
So there was a 2-mile club at the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, he got added. He was only the 11th name on that list.
Oh, nice.
So that was pretty cool. That was exciting to spot for him and work with him to get him on target, and that's very rewarding.
Yeah, I was talking with David Lindsay yesterday, and he's hit the 2-mile multiple times, but he said yesterday was the first time he hit it twice in the same match.
Yeah, I've done that a couple times in Raton, Spring Canyon. There's a 3,700-yard target.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a poke, but it's nice when you can connect multiple times. Because otherwise, you have some people who are watching, and of course, it's so difficult to hit that people are thinking, oh, it's just luck if you hit it. Well, when you hit it twice, either you're really lucky or maybe it's not all luck. One of the two. So it's nice when you connect twice. It removes that whole question of luck.
Yeah. And that's how they score, right? 2 hits
For
consecutively.
Well, for King of 2 Mile, the ranking system they have, they bracket it based on the furthest target you've hit in a string.
Right.
And you have to have 2, if it's a 5-shot target, it has to be 2 out of 5 at least for it to count. If it's a 1 out of 5, they count that as potentially a lucky shot, and that doesn't count toward your ranking. So I've been fortunate enough to have 2 out past 3,000 yards. That was during a King of 2 Mile run. And I hit the 2-mile plate, but I only hit it once. So I didn't get credit for that distance on the ranking system.
So what is your rank?
I think I'm number 6 right now.
In the world?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that's pretty good.
It's not too bad. And honestly, after shooting that and getting off the line, it was such a relief to having a strong run that even when I was loading up my car, it was just a thing that I felt like this is an accomplishment that doesn't go away.
Right.
It's a matter of record now.
Yeah.
It was just such a relief, a weight off your shoulders, because we all struggle to get better and do better. And here I finally put the pieces together in a match, and it got locked in. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So that's sort of
keeps you motivated.
That it does, and we're always changing. And even if you have a rifle that works, lights out, well, enjoy it, because the barrel's going to burn out here pretty soon, and then you're going to be starting all over again with a new barrel.
Yeah.
And it may or may not run as well. And we just never leave well enough alone anyway. So we're always trying different powders, different speeds, different bullets, whatever. We're trying to find ways to improve our systems. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
And sometimes you change so many things that you think, maybe I should just reset back to what worked again and start working on that again, start my evolution.
Right.
Because you almost get off track by changing too many things. So sometimes you've got to go back and reset and then start working up again, start building.
But you got to do it though, so you know.
You've got to do it. And right now, the light gun, the one I'm shooting right now, it's working well. So it's actually getting into that phase of being one of those lucky barrels that shoots extremely well, that we all get every once in a while, but not very often. This one's turning into one of those barrels.
Yeah.
It's maturing, and it's a very nice shooting rifle. A couple weeks ago, we shot a Pro-Am match down in Texas.
At the castle?
At the castle.
Yeah.
And after the first day, I had messed my solver up. I had screwed it up based on the practice session the day before, and I changed my solution. First day, I just screwed everything up first day. So I was in like 50-something place out of 60 shooters, 54th, I think. And well, that's not going to work. So that night I'd go back and change my solver back to the way it was before. And then the next day, clean target 4, 2 for 5, and then clean target 6. So I ended up finishing 3rd place overall.
Yeah.
So I moved from 54th out of 60 up to 3rd.
Yep. That
So
second day is where it's at.
That second day's got a lot of points, but then it was rewarding actually to put all the pieces together and then clean a couple targets. It's like, okay, that's what this rifle should be doing when I get out of the way. But when I start screwing things up, then I get what I deserve there. But yeah, when I can back away, Randy Powell of Thunder Ammo, he has a comment to me. He said that artist needs to know when to put the brush down. Because I always tinker and tinker. And he said, just enough's enough sometimes.
Yeah.
So starting to learn that lesson.
Well.
So today we came out, and again, this is the first time I shot that rifle since that match. And we started off clean target 1, clean target 2, and then 4 for 5, 3 for 5. So it was a really nice, strong start. And then the wheels fell off, but still, it was a nice start. Which is
well, you got you second place.
We got second place. So I'm happy with that. It was a nice run. I'm happy with that.
Just don't change anything.
I'll keep it locked
until after Friday.
Exactly. So until I get to France, I'm locking this thing in. The solver's not changing. Nothing's changing. As I said, I locked it up, threw away the key, and now go shoot a match.
All right. Well, you got anything else?
I think that's about it.
All
Thank
right,
you for having me on.
Yeah, no problem. We'll see you next week.
All right. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Yes.
Have a good one.
All right. You too. Have a safe drive.